I've always said with ours, yes, there's sex. So it is kind of can be classified as a sex party. But for me, it's sex as the byproduct.
All right, everyone, it is interview time, and we are here with the fantastic, fabulous Emma Sayle, the founder of Killing Kittens, also known as KK, which I like the KK part. And she is absolutely lovely. I almost did my fake British accent, and I'm really bad at it, so don't. Sorry. Anyway, so you already heard a little bit about Emma in the intro, in the bio, and you will learn more. So, Emma, welcome to Shameless Sex, and we always start with the same prompt for all of our guests, even though our listeners heard a little bit about you. Can you please tell us and our listeners a little bit more about how you got to where you are today in the field of sexuality?
Quickly, in a nutshell, it's been 19 years. I founded it in 2005, just off the back of just being really, really angry that boys could date and have sex and do whatever they wanted sexually without any judgment or any shame. And, they were high-fived and it didn't stop girls wanting to go out with them. But, God forbid a girl had slept with, one person outside of wedlock. And, boys would go, they're not girlfriend material. So it was just me really annoyed and hadn't slept for about 3 days in Ibiza at a wedding. And someone just phoned in and said, you guys just sat around killing kittens at the moment, which was every time you masturbate, God kills a kitten. So it was you just sat around wanking all of you.
I love that.
And I just went, that's it. That's it. I love the word killing kitten. It's been KK from day one. And K is a really powerful letter. And I was like, right, I want to create a whole world online and offline where women are in control. They make the first move. There's no shame. There's no judgment. So yeah, what started off as a bit of a joke and screw you has now nearly 20 years later become a big sort of kind of global movement and events all over the world, from parties to cruises to you name it, and the whole online side with chat groups and dating. And yeah, it's just a crazy world that keeps evolving, and yeah, every day's different.
It's like a lifestyle, whole Killing Kittens lifestyle. It's growing into so much more. In 2005, that's really, I mean, obviously there was the internet, right?
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, I think Facebook.
Yeah.
Facebook came out the same year, I think.
Okay.
I mean, it's retro.
It is retro. That's why. So I was wondering, I mean, 2005, that's 20 years ago, almost.
Instagram that came out, I think, Facebook was definitely around before the internet, though. That's hilarious.
The internet wasn't in. Wait, it was dial up. That was like 99. But what I said,
it was a narrow band.
20-year-olds are like, what the hell are you talking about?
Yeah, still. So what I was just thinking about getting the word out in 2005 about something such as Killing Kittens, which no kittens are killed, everyone. This is not the case. I think it's really funny because also I think about pussies and then you're talking about kittens, but I know it's not related, or maybe it is. So this is where I'm going with this. So you started this in 2005 and you said it's developed, it's morphed into a global movement. I've heard about you, about Killing Kittens from, I think I said 10 people. I'm not even exaggerating.
Probably more.
Probably more. We've had past guests talk about you. We've had Adam and Jules from Hot Octopus. They have also told me about you, our PR person in England. And anyway, that being said, I'm super excited that you're here. So I love this story about you starting Killing Kittens because of the men having this power almost. And they had this power to do anything sexually. And then when it came to women, it's like the scarlet letter, or, oh, you're a slut, or, oh, you're getting judged. Oh, you do what? So I just want you to, I know you already mentioned it a bit, but can you just tell us more and expand on what Killing Kittens not only has done for women, but for the world?
We get messages every day, and especially because, with the internet, as you said, there's now, massively, the online side is massive, and the community side and the chat. And it's so actually we can communicate much more, where we get feedback a lot more. And women email us daily just saying we've changed their life. We've given them the confidence to leave abusive relationships or arranged marriages, or this rise this year of the midlife women, which is, the late 30s, 40s onwards, who are coming out of marriages that they felt in their 20s they had to go and get married and have kids and have a husband and, sort of settle down straight away, because that was the other thing, wasn't it? I remember, I'm 46. I remember in my 20s feeling like there was something wrong with me, that I wasn't finding a husband, and all my friends from school were getting married in their 20s and having babies, and most of them are divorced now. But again, that's a lot of them are now coming in just going, we put up with loads. We were, you're on such a mission because that's what the messaging is growing up as a girl, is you must get married and you find, success is finding a husband, having children. And that it's weird, isn't it? It's like, even now, as I said, age 46, it's still really hard to get that messaging out of my bones and out of, that kind of sex is about the man and pleasing the man. And, it's there, it's ingrained in us as women. So that was the big kind of the big part of it. And I was also that pain in the ass kid growing up, real tomboy, that if someone said you can't do that, boys do it, I'd go, watch me. Played the trombone, cut my hair off really short, did loads of sport, played with boys all the time. My dad was army, and it was always very much, if someone said go right, I'd go left. And so there was a big part of me in that, kind of then coming out in, early 20s, moving into London and thinking that, all men are going to be gents and that, and just thinking, no, hang on a minute, this isn't right. It's one thing growing up, being told you can't do stuff and boys can do it, and it's boys being boys, and that's just the way it is. But then when you suddenly come into the dating world and it's the same thing, you kind of go, nah, this isn't cool.
April and I are similar to you in that we didn't buy into the whole like get married, have babies, own the house, little picket fence. People still ask us, right? They're like,
my mom was just here and was asking me, so do you regret? And I love her. And I
you've
wasn't
been married before, though.
I've been married, but do you regret not having children? And I said, no, it was a choice. And it's not about me or anything, but I was also friends with boys. I like wouldn't put on a shirt until I was like 11 when it was hot out in the summer. And because I was always playing with boys and they all had their shirts off, and until
you run around topless.
Yes, but I was like 11,
girl.
No, yeah. I got shamed.
Oh, well, I meant you just doing that.
Well, yes, and I think one of my friend's moms came outside and was like, "Why do you have your shirt off? You need to put that on." I was like, "What? Everybody else has their shirt off."
Were you flat chested then too?
I mean, probably.
Yeah, this is so
yeah.
sad.
I had nothing at 11.
Yeah.
But I've got a 7-year-old daughter, and she this summer was just wearing bikini bottoms and stuff. And some of the boys were like, my 9-year-old boy, we don't, put some clothes on, Lily. I'm like, why?
Why? Yeah.
She's 7. She's 7. How by the age of 9 a boy's going, no, you should be covered? You're like, there's nothing going on there. It's crazy.
It's true. It did plant something really weird inside my brain that was wrong to be naked or topless, which I was 11. I was a kid still. Anyway, that's what I relate to. I wanted to skateboard with the boys too. I was like, what? I can totally do that trick, until my knee got messed up and I looked like totally couldn't wear skirts.
Yeah.
I looked totally bruised and banged up.
Well, now your knee got messed up again, but you're healing. She's healing. So, but we totally relate. And that's also the premise of Shameless Sex, right? Is helping people find out, like, who are you as a sexual being? Not like what society tells you should be, other than consent, right? That is important. And this is a question for later, but I just want to clarify who Killing Kittens is for. I think it's for all genders. So while it seems like it has a focus on making sure that women, trans, femme, and non-binary individuals are always in control, penis owners, male identified folks still come, right?
Yeah, completely. So it's women that are members, and then you can buy a couple's ticket and invite a guest member. But the guest member still has to be a member in the online community. So everything's on our big WeAreX, our WAX app, which is a big sort of ecosystem, sex positive ecosystem that has lots of communities on, Killing Kittens being one. So you have to be a member on that, registered user on there, and then a woman could buy a couple's ticket, and then they can invite another member to be part of that couple, whether that's a man or another woman, or you just buy a singles ticket. So it's very much, Killing Kittens is very much that, very kind of femme-led and female-focused. But then we have one of the big things of Killing Kittens, and a big, another big reason why I launched it, was that kind of bi-curious side of women. And I always said back then, I said, women are naturally bi-curious, they're naturally bisexual. That's just science. And all my friends were like, no, it's a lie, we're totally straight. And then you give them a couple of glasses of wine and they're admitting that they've wondered what it's like to snog another girl. And I'm like, there it is. And actually the amount we're seeing of women in their 40s now who were in straight marriages in their 20s are now living with women, are coming out as. And so with Killing Kittens, there was this big sort of bi element in the mix. And what we've found is, as sort of society's changed and become more open sexually, and women are more open on that front, what it has allowed is a lot of the men within these couples to go, hang on a minute, I don't have to be this really straight macho male. And actually we're bi-curious, we're bisexual. So we've kind of, but Killing Kittens parties isn't the place for that, for the man on man kind of full on stuff to go on. So we've kind of had a lot of people in our community say, would you think about, doing one where, the men are in the mix on that side? And from day one, I've always kind of said one day we'll be doing like a gay version. So we've launched KK Homme, which is the male, it's kind of the masculine sort of one equivalent of Killing Kittens, where it's gay, bisexual men and couples, KK couples, where the man might be bisexual and there's playrooms that's just for men. So it kind of, which isn't everyone's cup of tea, totally, and I know that. And Killing Kittens is very much protecting the women and very much female focused. It's just a spin off that we're seeing a big demand. There's a big buy boom going on, and there aren't many, safe spaces for either gender bisexually to be able to kind of ask more questions and be themselves. And where would you go? You have to go to a hardcore gay club.
Did we just have a national or global bisexual day or something?
Yeah, bisexual visibility week, I think it was.
I can't keep
Yeah.
track of all the days.
It's September. It was
okay. Sorry.
There's always a holiday.
Is it lesbian this week? I can't keep track of it every week. It's sort of, yeah.
There's always
Which I appreciate.
Every day's me day.
Yeah. And then it can vary from country to country. And like, it's not Mother's Day over there. Oh wait.
Yeah, and you have a different international women. You have a Women's Day that's a different. You have Mother's Day that's different, and I think I don't know.
Yeah.
Wait, so there's blowjob and steak day. Is there like eating pussy and oysters day?
Is there a pussy and oysters?
No.
We're gonna create
there
that.
Should be.
Yes.
Maybe
Pussy and oysters. I like this.
Why not? Okay.
Let me create that. Yeah.
Trademark it. So, okay. So obviously I know people out there that aren't used to, because we've had Michael from the play who also curates sex parties, right? In mostly Los Angeles, Malibu, those areas, which is expanding. And we've had other folks that will curate sex parties. We've had lifestyle, also swingers, people that participate, not necessarily hosting swingers parties. So would you consider this, just to wrap my head around it, because I know people will ask, if you are signing up and you're a member, you become a member of Killing Kittens, am I signing up for me and my partner because we're swinging, or are we just going to a sex party that's a safe environment and enjoying whatever is there? Is it curated? Can we show up wherever? Like, I just want a little bit more.
It is. Do you know what? It's very, people always turn out and say it's not what they are expecting, because it is so relaxed. It's not like there's a lot of sex parties out there where when you turn up at the door, you're expected to get naked really quickly and you are expected to participate, and it's quite pushy, and it's like, right, women, get down to your lingerie straight away, and you don't really have the rules of like men having to, there's a lot of kind of, single cock wandering around and stuff. So so that's what a lot of people think. Or you have the swinging ones where, literally you're swapping partners and going to different rooms and stuff. I've always said with ours, yes, there's sex, so it is kind of, can be classified as a sex party, but for me, it's sex as the byproduct. So we set up everything else, the kind of the atmosphere, and that was one part of it. It's like all the setups and sex setups back in 2005 were very male heavy and male curated, and male porn, and brightly lit room, and they can get it up, and it's like, and that was one of the big things. I like, actually, women, our biggest sex organs, our brain, and if that's not turned on, so to us, it's like this, it's the sense and the smell and the taste and the ambience and the lighting and the music. And
thank you for saying lighting, Emma.
We love lighting.
Always lighting.
If you go in,
I'm
like
sat here in bright light. This is not sexy lighting right now.
It's okay.
This is not what Killing Kittens looks like.
No,
Okay?
no.
This light I'm sat in is not. Yeah,
but you go into bright lights, you feel like you're in like a hospital.
Or interrogation.
So I'm happy
and
that you
in your
lighting.
face as well. When sex is really in your face, it's like, no, that's subtle. I don't want to feel pressurized or forced, or that this is what all it's about. So we kind of, our events are much more of a party. So we have the DJs and performers, and actually now, we have some of our biggest parties at 800, 900 people, and 50% of the people don't get involved, don't take their clothes off. They're there to party. And it's only if you kind of wander upstairs.
Did you say 800
at one party?
Whoa.
Yeah, so the big ones we have in London can be 800, 900 people.
Where do they put?
Is this like a megaplex?
What kind of venue? What kind of venue? Because I'm assuming
they're in like the
rooms.
bigger, the mega clubs. So we take over mega clubs and bring in a big production crew that decor it up. And
we're coming.
But that means all the staging and the lighting is just so insane. So the performances are just constant pop-ups all over the stage the whole time. And then we have play areas and like a dungeon room and stuff. So actually, it's not in your face. So actually, you can. Sometimes I'll go with groups of friends, because I like going to the big ones with friends just to party. And I'll come out in the morning and go, I haven't seen one naked person other than on the stage.
Oh, yeah.
It's sort of, you play in the big playrooms, and then the rest is sort of, you might see that a lot of girls come along in groups of women, and they just like dancing in their lingerie because they know it's safe and they're not going to get, and that's really empowering, and that sort of makes it for them. So that's the thing. So there is sex that goes on. What we don't have is small rooms where you can shut the door. They're
Oh.
big, kind of big playrooms where you might get the equivalent of 10 beds in one.
Oh, awesome.
And often in those playrooms there'll be little stages with performers on as well. So it's very sort of immersive and kind of a hedonistic,
Yeah,
experiential type.
Is it like 12 hours? Sorry, I'm just keeping. I'm like
She's
getting the
picture.
vision.
Yeah.
So is it like the whole night, or do you show up whenever?
It kind of starts about 8-9 o'clock at night and goes till about 2 a.m. So that's sort of in the UK, the licenses. Most venues are all 2 a.m. And then we've got some massive country mansions that we use. Again, we've got one coming up in 2 weeks. That's about 700 people. Real cool, very cool, kind of stately home type mansion. And that again has different rooms, but imagine a stately home and the way the rooms are and stuff. So we go in and decorate up and drape it all, and it's all candlelit, and then you've got DJs in some rooms and performers in others, and the oysters.
Yes.
Always oysters. We always have oysters and like caviar shuckers as well.
This is like right up our alley. Are you global then? Or is it, I know this is UK and you do cruises, and we'll talk about the cruises because I think you have one coming up, but are you global? Like doing stuff outside the UK?
We're more global around Europe. So we do Venice and Paris and places. We did do loads in New York, and we do socials in New York, and we've got a few, the laws have changed sex wise in New York, and the states it's tricky in various states, and New York changed. So the only way we could do it in New York is taking over hotels and stuff. So we've been on the lookout.
Wait,
And
what are the laws that change in New York about sex parties?
It's the sex and drinking, the license laws so you can't take over a private venue in New York and have sex and sell tickets and have sex and be serving alcohol. There are people that will do it. There will definitely be people doing it. I know there are people doing it, but with us, we're not 100 people parties. So we can't fly under the radar. We're like, if we do New York, we were having 250, 300 people. So what we've been looking at, and actually we've found a few recently, so we should be going for it next year, is like hotels. So you take over floors of hotels or a boutique hotel or something, and then people can stay on site as well. So we've kind of, the last couple of years, we've been doing socials. So it's just drinks events for members with about 100, 150 people, just going for drinks, but then they'll go off and do whatever they want in their own homes and stuff after. But
I have some really good hotel recommendations for you all over there they would definitely allow that stuff. So let's talk after. But
let's just pause with it. You can't sell tickets for people that might have sex there and sell alcohol.
It's the alcohol bit. They might because they'll get drunk and then they can't consent.
But so you can't sell it, but like people could bring their own out. It's just
you can bring your own, but then there's the ticketing side. It's a region we've spent a few years looking at and had big legals over in New York, and it's just a really grey. It's a grey area that also falls back on, because you had new like trafficking rules in when Trump was in. There's that, and actually anyone that owns any of these setups, or like us we had to change payment systems, really change a few things community-wise on our site, because if any of our chat rooms and things are then found to have anything trafficking or anything like that, then the owners of the sites is 25 years in jail. So it's sort of it's the trafficking side, it's the licensing side, it's just it's got a bit grey.
Well, also I get why those laws are in existence, because I'm not like saying
big time. I agree.
There's a lot of people that aren't abiding by consent and doing a lot of illegal things that we've seen celebrities that are getting arrested for.
You're talking about Diddy
things, yes, but
Diddy.
I'm not going down the Diddy path right now. But yes,
this episode not about Diddy.
Yeah, we've got our own TV presenter lot going down over here.
So that's good to know. Okay, so Amy, I know that you have some question.
So I mean, I think we understand like what sets it apart, what makes it different, and you kind of shared a little bit about like what people can expect, but can you paint like a evening in the life, day in the life of April and I show up to Killing Kittens party and we arrive at 9-ish. What can we expect?
Yeah, what do I have to wear?
Okay, so it's black tie. So it's a big country mansion. You'll be in black tie. You have to wear masks. So when you arrive, there's like the red carpet up to the door. We have like fire eaters or stilt performers outside the doors of the mansion when you enter. There's like a champagne reception or cocktail reception as you come in. You then go into like the bar area where everyone's sort of mingling. We're all wearing masks, so you can feel the tension because there's a lot of, newcomers that come to all our events. And then it's sort of, and as you're in there and at the bar, you'll have performers walking around, or depending on the venue, you'll have a stage where you've got really, risque kind of burlesque acts going on, fire acts that go on, all these kind of different types of acrobatic burlesque acts that go on. And then, so that's it to start with. It's like, I always say it's like a really smart kind of private party that everyone's like looking great and really friendly, really chatty. And then we open up the playrooms from about 11 o'clock. So then you can go upstairs, and that's when people will filter off. And one of the country houses has 3 massive playrooms upstairs, and then it's got a dungeon playroom. So we have like a house dungeon master and like wife and a dominatrix who run the playroom. So you've got all the different EDSM type machines, and what they do is sort of do demonstrations, and they'll show people how it all works, because most people are total newcomers when it comes to that world. So it's the room where they show how to spanking and shibari machines and
What's a
not Sibian
shibari
machines.
machine?
No, sorry, shibari rope stuff and Sibian machines.
Oh,
I got them
Sibian.
I combined them, which is a whole new.
I was like, I've never heard of a shibari machine.
A shibari machine, that'd be great.
Wait, Emma, I don't want to interrupt because you're on a flow. But so the masks, they can come off whenever.
We asked them to keep them on until the doors shut and their drinks reception's over. So we asked them to keep them on until about 11 o'clock.
And are they going to be full, like the scream,
kind of
like the scream mask? Okay,
scream.
No, but you do get the odd person that I'm just looking at my forehead, going, I think I need Botox.
No, you look fab. You look fab.
Machine. They're kind of half ones. Yeah.
Okay.
They're kind of eyes wide shut type.
Yeah, eyes wide shut.
Venetian mask.
The Venetian mask.
You do get
so I won't show up with the scream mask. Okay, I promise.
No. Does anyone wear a scream mask? Do you even know what we're talking about?
No,
it's like...
but the first one my husband came to, it was actually pretty much our second date, because I was like, I've got to go, I've got to pop in to see the events going on. And he wore a Batman mask and didn't take it off all night.
That's amazing.
He's still some of my friends, like 12 years on, still call him Batman. So
I like that guy.
I was thinking, I have a Richard Nixon mask. I could just show up in that and be like, hey.
Yeah, exactly.
You're going to get laid so much with that Richard Nixon mask. So hot, April. That's not the intention,
I promise I won't, Emma. Emma's like, you're not invited anymore.
That's fine. We've had so many different masks. It's fine. And no one takes themselves seriously. That's the thing. It's just it's a high-end demographic. And a lot of people are at the top of their industries and doing whatever they do. And I always say this, egos are left at the door, because everyone's kind of equal. And lots of people are going to get naked, and you can't, be Mr. Big I Am when you've got a 2-inch penis. So it kind of, it's a real balancing scene. Yeah.
It's a flow. Okay, cool. So I won't bring my Nixon mask. Okay, but maybe. I do have a question, because I know we're going to get this. How can people attend? Because you kind of mentioned the membership piece and then buying tickets and whatnot, but how can people attend a Killing Kittens party, and what does it entail? Is there a vetting process? Is there a application process? Can you walk us through that a little bit?
It's actually really straightforward. So you can go on the Killing Kittens website. It'll take you through to register. You register, and it goes through onto the WeAreX app, and you register. It's a bit like when you register for a dating profile. So you register, it's free. You're then instantly kind of a member in the online world of WeAreX. And then what happens is there's a whole event section. So you can look at all the events that are going on, the socials, the online workshops, the full-on parties. If you want to come to one of the full-on Killing Kittens parties and you click to buy tickets, it will say join the KK Association, register to be a registered KK member. And then when you do that, it's a £20 fee. So what's that, about $30? And then you're you basically become a verified party member. And with that, you have to upload photos. It's just proving you're a real person, and especially the couples. So when it's a couple's profile, they have to upload a photo of them together and doing, there'll be an AI photo that goes, one of you have to touch the nose, the other one has to touch an ear, and you have to mirror, but you have to be in it together. So then it shows you're a real couple. And it's not someone pretending to be a man with it putting up a couple's profile and who doesn't actually have another half. So it's that part. It's really showing and why you want to join the Kittens Association on that front. So it's just so it's really straightforward. It's not it's not kind of you don't have to look like a supermodel or be 20. It's more verifying that you're a normal human being, you're the real person, and that your intentions are
So it's not about status then. It's not, it's
No,
more,
it
okay,
doesn't
got
ask for job and stuff like that or salary or we're not, yeah, it's not, it's kind of, yeah, it's not about that. I think the world is sort of, I don't know, evolved,
it.
really.
Thank God. It's about
Mm.
time for that.
Yeah, the AI generated thing, I didn't think about until you just said that. Touch your nose. They have to touch the nose because right now, my friend just sent me the craziest thing. He sent me my voice reading something else because you can take AI generated voices and I could like read a book.
So he can make, well, or
Kim
make
Kardashian could
someone
read
can
a
make
book.
you say terrible things.
That's
and
what
then
I'm
people might
saying.
It's
believe
awful, they're
it.
doing it, aren't
They're
they?
doing it.
I'm sure there were some celebs, some LA celebs,
Yeah.
someone, yeah, some company used her voice or something. She had said no to an ad campaign or something, and then I
Yeah.
can't remember who it was. And then they used one very similar that sounds identical to her.
Well, you
Can't
can
remember who
just
it
take
was.
samples of people's
Mm,
voices, and my friend was doing it to just like show me like how cool, and I was like, this is a
Scary.
little bit freaky.
Yeah.
And there's the software is even getting more developed. So for you and getting real people because you want to know that people are real and it's not just I don't know why people would
mm.
actually make a fake profile to try to attend a
But
party.
the thing is, dating apps, it's like over 50% of profiles on all the dating apps out there. All the big dating apps, are fake profiles.
Mhm.
Or they're bots, that's a fact. Then we had to, so when we built all our technology in the last 5 years to really build and compete on the dating app side, we were in a juxtaposition about a year ago going, we either open it all up, which is what all the other apps have done, in order to get the numbers in, or we keep it verified users. And we just made the call to go, we're going down the verified users route. And if that means it's going to take longer to, get the critical mass and the numbers up and stuff. But I think we've got about 100,000 users on it. So yeah, it's growing really nicely. And everyone on there knows that all the profiles are real verified profiles, which makes it quite a lot of difference compared to other dating apps.
Smart. That's smart.
Important. Well, and a lot of the online dating profiles are, people that are trying to make money, right? So it's like either cam models or some sort of scammy thing, or wasn't there the Tinder swindler, like people trying to
Mm.
like make you fall in love with them, but then they ask you for $10,000 because their mom is dying or something like that. But they're not seeing you in person. And this is it's like, I see your question, April, like people doing a fake thing, but then they're still coming in person. You would think that that would be like, well, you're not going to lie, but or you're saying is more like, we just want to also make sure everyone is safe. People are real, but there aren't people saying like, oh yeah, I have a partner or I'm
Fake
this,
name
yeah,
right? Because
Mm.
granted,
Yeah.
some people they might want to have some anonymity. However, I think that if you have to have their ID or their passport or something as a image, like we do to get verified on Instagram, we have to send them our ID so they know we're a real person. And I think that makes sense. I do that for the government online when I have to get a new driver's
Yeah,
license.
we'll see the verification bit. Then if you're looking at other profiles, you'll see their usernames. So actually you'll see photos and you'll see usernames. So you don't, everyone else doesn't see real names.
Okay.
It's just we have the real names on it. But most people seem to be using their real names because they're coming into that safe space. And the big part of ours is all the community side. So you've got massive chat groups, big like huge WhatsApp groups that are on there that are kind of proper verified, that we've got people hosting them. So there's a massive community side and sense of belonging and responsibility rather than the dating swipe, swipe, swipe. And, they have a churn rate of about 3 months. Most dating apps, you're on, you're off. So
Yeah.
our whole thing is trying to keep them on. And also, I think the difference with us is we started offline. So we're very much offline and about meeting proper human connections in real life.
Mhm.
And that's our core and that's our soul. But we've had to build the digital world around us because we live in a digital world.
Yeah.
And that's what you have to do. So we come from a right in real life first, and then the digital world's a tool in order to get people offline. Whereas compared to the tech, a lot of the tech platforms out there and community platforms out there, they're coming in from a tech perspective. They're being built by Silicon Valley.
It's our neighbor. We're only 45 minutes
who
from
never want to
there.
go out.
Yeah.
And which is great. And that's the thing. They're building community. And you're seeing it a lot in the dating app fatigue and stuff of kind of numbers dropping because people want that human interaction,
Yeah.
the real human interaction.
Totally. This wasn't one of our questions, but I want to like clarify this for listeners. And we've talked about it for other sex parties or sex party groups. So what you said, 600 to 800 people. What if consent violations happen, or there's something, or like someone shows, I don't know what, like, how do you manage that with 600 to 800
Yeah, if you have
people?
a stage 5 clinger,
Or like someone that's doing violation things, or
Yeah.
a clinger.
So do you know what? We have a great security team. So we've got really good security team, and they're subtle. Like, they're there. They look like security, but they're not these like kind of, testosterone macho. So they're suited and booted, and they kind of just wander around. We've also got community kittens. So we have about 15, 20 women. Yeah, a lot of them have been our members, and we see them really active in the chat groups and stuff. And then we'll reach out to them and say, do you want to be a community kitten? Who are wandering around, and we have the red armbands, the kind of bright red armbands on them, the lit up ones. So you can see most of them are like mental health trained as well. So there's a real presence of people always say they feel safe because you can, at any one point, you can kind of see a security guard, you can see someone with a red armband on. So we don't really, we're always going to get, so we've never actually, on that front, on the consent side, we just, where trouble arises occasionally is someone just drinks too much and then they just need looking after. But to be honest, members are really good at looking after each other. So often it'll be like, so we'll get grabbed because someone's if someone's on a seat bike, she's sat on a sofa by herself and she doesn't look quite with it, and she's drunk too much, so she gets looked after. And or a guy gets a bit too drunk and might get a bit handsy. But there's never been any. But every man that's come in there he's come with a woman. So there's no kind of man in there on his own. Plus, if we know the couples, so we won't let a woman leave. If we know a woman's come in with a man, we won't let her leave without going and finding the man to go with her. So
okay, and what if she comes by herself? Because there's date rape drugs. I had someone drug me when I was 21 and I was by myself. So does that, like, accountability wise? And I don't even know, because bars can't even do that, right? People can't monitor everything.
We can't do much on that. I just know that when you've got a sex positive environment, there's a lot more respect, a lot more consent, and boundaries, and there's a lot more awareness of not behaving like that it doesn't really come into play. It's kind of the normal nightlife, the bars and the clubs, and the insecure guys or the power to kind of just drug a girl. So it's a whole power thing, and there's an insecure person on the end of it doing it. It kind of, and actually that doesn't, in our space, that insecurity isn't really there on that level. So that's what's causing it.
I would take care of someone if I saw a woman that was alone and looked like she had been drugged, because I know what that would look like, and would be like, hey, we're gonna figure out how to get you home. And usually they don't know where they live because they're out of it. But that's I was just wondering, because it's scary when you go out to a bar. I still mind my drink. I tell my stepdaughters,
me too.
Never leave your drink.
Like that.
Never. No, just never leave it. Like, don't be like, I'll be right back, unless you are with friends.
Or even if you cover it, like all it takes is like, and then there's something in there.
Yeah.
I had an experience. It wasn't being drugged, but at a and this is not talking shit about, and I won't say the name of it, but a local sex party group. This, I don't know, whatever, like a year ago. I was there with my partner. They do like a full orientation on consent and all these different things, and you have to apply. And I had this experience there with someone who I thought was my new best gay friend. And we'll call him Bob. That wasn't his name. And he put like a robe on me. And I was like, well, we're like twirling the dance floor. My partner's walking around. And then this person, Bob, says like, I'd love to tie you up. Are you into that? I was like, sure. So we go into the dungeon and he gets the rope out. My partner's right there, but my partner walks away and there's a bunch of people around. And I was just now naked wearing this robe. And he's about to like start putting rope on me, which isn't my thing, but I'm just kind of more like, let's just try new things. But I'm naked. And so he takes his hand and swipes my pussy, just kind of like a dirt. And I was like, oh. And I just kind of froze. And of course, all my sexuality shut down. I was like, and I did. So it's this very sex positive environment. I did not expect this. I was like blindsided. But the good thing about this, which it sounds like this group calls them angels, like the people you can go to for help, like consent violations.
Did you tell the guy not to tie you up then?
So I was like, I got fucking 5 years old awkward, or like 15, like I need to find my partner, because I just was overwhelmed. But what I ended up doing is I told my partner, The guy knew right away. He was like, oh shit. And I told my partner, and I had a whole process. So I went up to the angels, which yours are, you said kitten, what you call them?
Community kittens.
Community kittens,
Which
comms, we call them, the
I'm at,
comms.
so there's probably a similar thing, right? So I went up to, the angels and I told them what happened. And so they're more like, what do you need right now? Do you want us to go with you to talk to him? And I was like, I don't even want to see the person right now. And anyway, so I'm just that, I guess my question for you. So is that what those people are? The community kittens?
Yeah, completely. But also it kind of, when you say, your new gay best friend, is we don't put those kind of guys in the environment. So you wouldn't be allowed in to a Killing Kittens party.
I mean, he definitely wasn't gay. Okay.
No. Yeah. But was he, because we don't let single men in.
Mhm.
And there will be guys with their partners, but it's so, it's so drummed into them that they are a guest of a member and most of the guys that come are genuine partners with. Yeah. So it's
so that makes it different. You're a guest.
Accountability. You get accountability because you're with someone that does make sense.
And you're a guest, like you're not coming on your own accord. You're a guest of someone else who is like women identified or has a vulva or something.
It's like vouching for you on some level. So don't fuck it up.
That makes sense.
Okay.
I love that.
Okay, cool. Well, the good news is that my partner, he looks like security, so I always feel safe. He's like one of the he's like a very strong.
I think I saw a picture of you with him on Instagram.
Yeah. He's a strong man, is full of tattoos, so it's funny. And
he's a sweetheart and a softie in a lot of ways too.
People think he's a meathead, then I'm like, no, he's a deep human that is like super awesome.
Often the meathead looking ones are actually kind of very gentle.
Yeah, never judge a book by its
more
cover.
places with you and your partner,
dude. I never get fucked with when I'm with my partner ever. I'm like, oh, but if I'm alone or sometimes out there in the world with Amy, somehow weird shit happens. I'm like, what's happening?
Well, she's like 5'6" or something. I'm over 5'9", and we'll be on the dance floor, just the two of us. And she's the one that gets picked up and groped
without any permission or any even notification. All of a sudden, I'm like, what? This guy's spinning me around. And I'm like,
we're like, why is it you? Oh, like, you're like small and you're kind of a target.
I'm 6 foot. I'm 6 foot. So I hear you. So I'm 6 foot, and they look at me, and I'm like.
Yeah, I see. I'm looking out for my girl.
Well, Amy will be like, "Put her down."
Yeah,
she's like, in the face.
I'm the regulator.
Yeah.
Like, what are you doing?
So anyway, so it's great to learn about the Killing Kittens. Almost, I guess it's like the mission, right? And then how the actual foundation is laid out for each of these parties, the safety measures, because that is the accountability piece, making people their own, having I think it's just like the agency as well to choose your own path that is going to be not only considerate to other people's bodies and other people's pleasure journeys, but like you are creating a space of this consent. I think that's really important. So that's really cool. So what else? So I think you mentioned, and I don't know if I think we weren't recording yet. So I heard about a Mediterranean cruise, which I was like, hi. But what else is happening with KK, the offerings? And is this true? Mediterranean cruise?
Yeah. So basically, you've got Killing Kittens, you've got KK Homme launching, you've got WeAreX, the wax app, which covers it all, and on there as well, we're onboarding loads of different sex positive communities that do their own parties and things. So they're going to use it as their digital world, and we do all their ticketing and stuff. So it's kind of in a whole ecosystem for your kind of adult life. But the cruise we're launching June 26th. It's going to be Mediterranean. So it's sort of going out of Barcelona, around to Portofino, Monte Carlo, around to Mallorca, Palma. It's going to be wicked. So
we need to go.
I know. I got married in Mallorca. It's like my spiritual home. I love it.
It's so amazing. Okay. Ibiza?
We're not stopping in Ibiza this time, but it's only like it's a hop. You can go there before or after the cruise from Barcelona. It's easy.
I'm not complaining about any of those places. I was just making sure.
Summer 2025. Yeah.
26.
Okay. And you're
June
going 26,
to be there,
right? Emma,
yes, I've decided I'm just going to have a whole go sunbed and just have my sunbed with dark glasses and like endless cocktails coming my way every day.
I think we would hang out and have such a good time because you are my kind of human. So this was awesome. And anything. So people just go to, I think you mentioned, is it just killingkittens.com? Because
I mean, to be honest, there's such a name that's out there. I would say just Google Killing Kittens and it's there. Going higher at the top of the Google search. So yeah, it's easy. Really easy.
Okay. And so I don't know if you do any work with people outside of the Killing Kittens thing. If people want to find you, they just go to killingkittens.com or just Google it.
Or I'm just Emma Sayle. So on Instagram, just Emma Sayle, or Sayle with a Y.
Mhm.
Let's say Wiley. That's the one that, yeah.
Yeah.
That's it. It's just easy. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I love this. So, everyone out there, obviously, you don't necessarily have to be in the UK or in the Mediterranean, or you could just
We get a
go
lot of
to a
US
party.
people flying over actually to
I
London.
bet.
That you
Lot
do.
I mean,
US
you might
people.
have 2 more right here, just saying.
The odds are
Excellent.
in your favor.
Or our favor.
Well, our and yours. It's from Hunger Games. Anyway. Oh no, may the doesn't
No, yeah, may the yes,
maybe
forever
the
be
odds.
in your favorite.
No, may the odds be in your favor. Do you
Yeah.
ever watch Hunger Games, Emma?
Yes, all of them.
Oh, me
Yeah.
too. Except the last one
Do you
was.
have a Hunger Game theme party? Just kidding. Okay, never mind. Not sponsored by
No,
Hunger
I just
Games.
accuse my kids all the time of the three of them of being like part of Hunger Games all the time. Who's going to eat who at what point? So yeah.
See, this is so fun talking to you. Okay, I am so pumped that we finally got you on Shameless Sex, because what you're doing is incredible, and it just keeps expanding. And thank you for this platform and this cruise to the Mediterranean, and for creating this space that people can feel comfortable, have fun, explore their sexuality, and probably learn something they didn't know before, because that's like how you do it. It's not porn. It's not explicit. It's going to be done in this very Emma Sayle way with Killing Kittens. So check out Killing Kittens, everyone. We already did, because we had Emma on the show and we're like, this is really cool. So, wow. Anything else you want to share, Emma? Any last words?
Just go and explore, basically.
Yeah.
I love that. We don't do rapid fire because that hurts. I hate rapid fire questions. We're like, okay, Emma, what's your favorite
what do you think of
color?
this? What do you think of this? What do you think of this? What, and then I'm like,
Yeah. I'm the worst at those. Even if they ask me
Me
questions
too.
like that, I know. They're like, what, like, what's your favorite color? I'm like,
that one's easy when they're when it's just like
what's your favorite book? That's the bit that gets me.
Yeah,
My brain
me
can't even
too.
finish books.
Although
I have about 5 going.
I've noted my answers to that, my favorite book, but like my favorite, I have that
movie. I'm like, are you kidding?
Hunger Games?
There's like
Where to
there's like
start?
3 million movies that are streamed a year now. Anyway, we're not doing that. So unless you want us to, but I don't have anything for you. Okay, good. No, go explore. I think those are excellent last words from Emma Sayle, everyone. Killing Kittens, we're going to check it out and participate. And for all of you out there, always looking for something new and fresh, you can find it at Shameless Sex. Share with your friends, share with your grandma, share with your grandpa. If they're not available and don't know what the podcast is, because that's what my grandma says, what's the podcast? You can point them to our website.
On your podcast.
Oh, I hear that a lot, which people can, because we are on YouTube. And I will say, if you listen to us on a podcast app, rate us on your favorite one, Spotify or there's how many? I think Apple is our most frequented.
iHeartRadio.
We're on all of them, but just rate us, give us a 5-star rating. It helps more people find folks like Emma Sayle, things like Killing Kittens, and you're helping them have more shameless sex. See, nailed it there in the end. We're not going to edit that. All right, y'all. We'll see you next Tuesday. Ciao for now. No, ciao for meow.